Yep.
Well, let's jump into, so we got Dragon Drive World Champion presented by Summit Racing. Um, Again, this award is something that will be printed or will be presented during the Dragon Drive Awards at PRI. The series points, I know everybody probably hears this every time, but series points are limited to racers' top performance at 3 national events. And guys, there are 6 events left in the season. 6 possible events left in the season. So, racer updates since last week. Walter Doyle, I've been messaging back and forth with him. He is planning on attending Race Week and Southeast Street-N-Yeet. He's a racer that has already attended 3 national level drag and drive events. What's great about his setup is he has 1 event where he or 2 events where he was second place. So if he can win his class in either of those, one of his lesser point events will fall off and he will actually keep going higher. Obviously, if he finishes another event, we're not going to add that to 93 points because he has already completed 3. So I've listed all of this on the Drag and Drive World Champion page. If you want to take a look at its Drag and Drive, drag in drive world champion, you can put it into Google and pull it up there, or just find it on the dragandrive.com page too. Michael Westberg posted the other day that he's not going to be attending another event. So does that kind of freak you out a little bit? It kind of freaks me out a little bit because this dude's sitting 2 events and 76 points. I mean,
Yeah,
he has the real opportunity to win it all.
he does, but it's obviously, we talked about the Aussies and what it costs
Hmm.
to ship a car back and
Oh
forth.
yeah.
So I can understand the money
Well,
situation on what it would take to get that vehicle to another
yeah.
event.
Well, in 39 days from now, you start looking at could he even ship the Camaro over here in that amount of time? And I mean, I think it took 12 weeks last time, just by the time it got through port and all that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
um, So I was doing some math, and like I said last week, I feel like people that have mid 60s on their points right now, which I have put on the Drag and Drive World Champion page. I've listed everybody that has 60 points or above, so that you can go on there and you can see it. So I think all of those guys have a chance. I think really all it takes is somebody that's at a higher point level to make a mistake on their third event, not finish, or finish out of a podium, and suddenly now you have guys like Bill Armstrong and Rich Guido. Both of those guys are tied at 69 points. Both of them are racing at race week, and that event will give them both 3 national level events. So that's going to be kind of cool. I'm excited. I'm sure both of those guys are going to be racing in the 6 shift class. If they can finish with an 8-second average, that would give them 104 points to end the season with, right? If Corey Thompson, who I keep going back to because I really feel like he's in a great spot, and has the opportunity to reset the record for the hot rod class, but let's say that he ends up third in the hot rod class with a 9-second average, he would end the event with 103 points. So you start looking at what it takes to do all that, and now suddenly you are in a situation where, somebody like Rich or Bill that are at 69 points, they could come in and win it all.
Yeah.
Which obviously, we I don't I want somebody to win it that is a winner. That's the biggest part of this that I want folks to understand. The whole reason behind the additional points for winning your class and the faster ET averages and things like that is because we want somebody that is that level of competitiveness. We want somebody that is a podium finisher. So again, I'm always looking at the math. I'm always trying to figure out who can do what. The one thing that I think is going to struggle some folks is going or give some people some struggle is that you can only use one 8th mile event, especially since Southeast Street-N-Yeet has 2 events this year. So, if somebody didn't perform or they did great at the first Street-N-Yeet, you know, their second Street-N-Yeet may not, they have to perform better there and be higher on the podium to make it more points because that 8th mile event is going to fall off because you can only use one 8th mile race for your drag and drive world champion points.
Right.
That was a lot.
And you've been hitting me up recently with all kinds of these hypothetical situations, so it's kind of cool to see what could happen. Now it's just going to
Yeah.
be kind of see how it plays out now. And after each one of these events, we'll give an update and kind of what happened, where people
Yep.
moved around, and it's going to be exciting to watch come down to the end here.
Well, I'm telling you, with Death Week being back on the board at 125, I think they can definitely do that. I think we're looking at each event is going to be a must finish. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but it's thundering again really bad right now. So we're gonna get to moving on here. But yeah, I'm always looking at hypothetical scenarios, looking at more points, who can score this amount of points, what that means for, I keep going back to Corey Thompson. I really do feel like he has the car to beat in this because it won't be hard for him to reset the mile per hour record at race week. And it also, I think he probably has the car to reset the ET at race week as well for the hot rod class. So, but again, all it takes is a lifter going down on that car, and maybe he doesn't have the right lifter to fix it, or maybe he doesn't get it finished in time, and suddenly he's out, or suddenly he turns in a 13-second time and ends up with a 9 or 10 second average. Oh shit! Now you're in a situation where it's open. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, we're going to end up somewhere in the 102 to 110 points is what's going to win it. So if you're doing the math, that's pretty close.
Yeah.
Well,
Otherwise, he's going to have to try to hit another event even.
yeah, and so you're already looking at race week, so you've missed drag week. Now you're doing race week. Now what is your other event?
Yeah.
Which one are you going to go to? How do you get that week off of work? I think that's what's been really cool about this too, is Walter Doyle attending 2 more events. That's 5 weeks of drag and drive racing that he will be doing in 2023. That's the kind of dude that we want to win. Yeah, Aaron Schaefer hashtag 850 King. I'm telling you, the 850 class. We're going to go over that here in a minute at drag week and race week. It's going to be brutal, man. There's a lot of folks that are swinging for the 850 class, and I love it. That is one of my favorite classes. All right, so let's talk about Bill and Rich. Rich Guido actually made a post the other day talking about the upcoming stick shift racing and class at Rocky Mountain Race Week. And I wanted to kind of share that with you guys because I really want to give a big pat on the back for what Rich Guido is doing for the sport. There's a lot of people that know who Rich Guido is because of what he's done. So here's literally his word for word posted. There's going to be an epic battle at Race Week, which is Rocky Mountain 2.0 in October. This might not be a battle for first in six shift if one of the 750 cert guys show up like Chad Fegley, but it will still be something to watch. That's the key. It's all of the racers that win these classes get a lot of attention if they set records, they go fast, all that kind of stuff, right? But really, there is so much racing that goes on between third and sixth place in these classes. That's what we're going to get better at telling the story there too, is because it is amazing. So first up is Chris Hine in his 33 coupe. Guys, this car weighs 2,900 pounds, so he's going to have to add some. Race Week has a 3,000-pound minimum. Texas speed 427. Twin turbo with a RTX 1200 clutch and G-force transmission, T56 Magnum. This car has been 868. Okay. Bill Armstrong's 66 Fairlane, 3,700 pounds. Small block Ford, 427 cubic inches. You guys know I love this car. Black Magic clutch, dual 10.5-inch clutch, bank shift Billy for clutch control, and another T56 Magnum from G-Force transmission. It's been 870 in the quarter mile. Brent Stevens drives a 69 Dart that weighs 3,200 pounds, 394 cubic inches. Third gen Hemi twin turbo. I'm seeing turbos. That's the key here. This car's been 871 in the quarter mile. So that's pretty awesome. Brent Stevens, 69 Dart's been 871. And then Rich Guido, obviously in the 65 GTO, 4,100 pound, 521 cubic inches. Or Pontiac power here. That's a big single turbo. I love this car. Kel Aronson, next gen single 11-inch adjustable clutch, G Force T56 Magnum. This car's been 875 in the quarter mile. And here's what Rich said that I thought was really funny. We are all friends till we are side by side. Who you got? So I thought that was a great post by Rich. Again, what he does for the sport of drag and drive plus stick shift racing, I had to bring attention to that. So Rich, thanks for putting that post out. That's the kind of stuff we love to see because I wouldn't have caught that stuff, because he lives in the stick shift world. Him and Bill run a Stick Shift Nation podcast. I mean, they actually talk stick shift racing with stick shift racers all the time. So of course, I start going through my mental thoughts on what that is and who's going to do what. So I had to message Chad Fegley and say, "Hey man, are you coming?" And he did confirm that he is coming back this year to defend his title. So that most likely means he's going to be in the Corvette, which is awesome. And that car's
Nice.
been high sevens, low eights. He currently holds the stick shift record at an 8:063 average. So Chad Fegley coming back could be a big win. But you go back to sick week and Chad broke something on sick week, so he couldn't finish. I mean, like, it's drag and drive racing is the hardest racing to figure up all the time. I listen to a lot of Westbuck and the Drag Illustrated and other NHRA podcasts and things, and they're always talking about these guys running X. We are a group of racers that are all over the place all the time because we're racing at different tracks all the time, different scenarios, different track prep, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
I also asked Tom Stark if he is racing at Race Week, and he said their schedule is absolutely jam packed. So he doesn't know if if he's gonna bring a car or maybe he'll ride with Mac, Michaela Stark for this event. So it'll be interesting. I'm gonna fly out there for Monday after back to the streets. I'm gonna fly out to Denver to Vandermeer because if you have the opportunity to go to that track before it closes, you got to do it. So that's what I'm doing. The stick shift classes this year have been phenomenal. There's already been 76 racers in stick shift classes at Drag and Drive events this year. So
How
that's pretty
cool.
awesome. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
it's
if I were to
pretty amazing.
build another car, I would try to build a stick shift car.
Yeah, I have zero desire to do stick shift stuff. I just want to go of a button and take care of it. So congratulations to all the stick shift. Good luck to everybody. The thing about stick shift racing is it is so violent. So I love to watch it. Anytime that class is called up, I run up and get it. Well, guys, one other thing that contains the violence is pistons, and our piston manufacturer sponsor is Molly Motorsports. So let's thank them real quick, and then we're going to get to work.
Molly Motorsports is the official piston of DragAndDrive.com. Molly's Power Pack piston is the perfect candidate for your drag and drive car. Molly Motorsports competes in drag and drive events and supports our community. Project manager Eric Grillo raced a 10-second stick shift Nova at Hot Rod Drag Week 2022. He's also competed in Rocky Mountain Race Week last year with his C10 truck. Visit mollymotorsports.com for the most recent line of products.
Yep. And Eric Grillo in his Nova competed at Rocky Mountain Race Week earlier this year. So that's pretty awesome. So I don't know if we'll see him back for 2.0 or not, but it was fun to hang out with him. And I think